Hi, here we are at the former Robert E. Peary High School with Annette Tamm. Annette was our chemistry teacher, at least most of us, and today is April 6th, Monday, and Annette, welcome back from Washington State. Yes. What's it feel like being outside the old school?
I don't recognize most of it, but a little bit of my heart is still here.
Awesome,
Yeah,
great.
16 years, yeah.
JD.
Hi, I'm Jim Douglas, JD or James, depending on where we went to school together. And John and I graduated in '75, and I had Ed Steele for chemistry. I'm the outcast here.
Karen Fosco, class of 1983. My brother is a graduate as well from Peary from 1978, and he had her for chemistry.
Cool, thank you.
Hi, Bill Haig, class of 1980.
Glad you're here, Bill.
Thank you.
Joe Barrett from the class of '84, and I had the pleasure of having Miss Hartman in 11th or 12th grade chemistry.
One of those.
Lisa Wilson, and Miss Tamm is my favorite teacher from Peary.
Wow, incredible.
David Fialkoff. I was on Ms. Tamm's academic team in 1980 and '81. She was a great sponsor.
What was the record of the its academic team?
Oh, like 1 in 10 or something.
Not for lack of trying.
Keith Lloyd, class of '84. I have Miss Tamm, and she was Miss Hartman for regular chemistry and AP Chem.
And Annette, so again, you're back here at the former Peary. I just learned that it's been the Berman Hebrew Academy actually longer than Peary High School. But what was your first? How did you get the job at Peary? How did that all
It
start?
was almost accidental. I was getting my teaching credential at USC. My husband got his doctorate there, and the only job, well, he was offered a job at the University of Maryland. The only job I could get was Greenbelt Junior High School. I really didn't want to teach junior high, but I did that. And then I went to some kind of employment office, and they sent me to Montgomery County, and I was sitting there, and the job they sent me for was gone. But while I was sitting there, Dr. Dunn was finding out that his chemistry teacher was leaving, and I happened to be there when Dr. Dunn called and said, I need a chemistry teacher. So I went and had my interview. And
Congratulations.
16 years, and I would have stayed, till I retired, except they closed it for no good reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think all of us may agree with that sentiment. So great. Cool. Well, there's more to come in our tour. So we'll welcome back everybody, and let's head on in.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, get your
What's the last name? No, I think they stuck on the wall now.
No. The logos are here.
Oh, is it?
It wasn't here.
I thought they took it off and put it on.
You have a good sized group.
Yeah, thank you, Phil.
It is so different than when we had our reunion.
Yeah, it is now. Yeah.
You want me to shoot a basket?
No, you could. Well, the on the corner. There you go. Well, you weren't a cheerleader.
Look this way.
So they have a replica of the floor medallion
Yeah.
that they painted up there.
That's great. Oh, Mr. Hill.
I give him a plaque on here because he got the teacher.
The VIP chemistry teacher.
Thank you for doing all
No,
this,
absolutely.
John. This
I'm
is
having
so
fun.
neat.
So
This
it's
is
fun.
So neat.
Now they can even buy cigarettes, right?
We were in a meeting about building the gyms,
Yeah.
the newer equipment. They're like, we don't air condition the gym.
He's both of my actors.
Not us. We don't air condition the gym.
So you worked for this company for a number of years?
Yeah, I'm still subbing, but I started right out of college.
What, subbing?
I'm still subbing.
Working at Subway?
No. I'm not retired from
It's the same
coaching. I'm on sabbatical. That's how I put
Sabbatical.
that.
So what's your favorite high school ever? I'm just taking a clue here from your sweatshirt. So
My favorite high school to attend was here.
okay. The smoking is bad for your health. So yeah.
Me either, but I had friends who'd go out there, so I'd go out there too.
Well, I'm not, no.
That's still
Get all the secondary.
I got your bath downstairs.
This is the downstairs.
No, it's big.
Got a big production going here. That's right.
So the doors are the original Peary doors. Can't have glass with the. Downstairs now, they have 2 apartments down there, and so they're staffed to be in this.
We lost half our group, I think.
So when the county knew they would either have to sell or tear down the building, they put out bids to have the asbestos taken out of it. And one bid was significantly lower than the others. So they came over and they opened the door and let the guy in. And he came in here with a bobcat, and he started in this wing. But he thought he was doing demo as if they were going to tear it down. So he was going room to room with the bobcat, tearing the ceilings down, scraping the floors up. And that's another reason then it sat empty for so long, because then they stopped, but this part of the building had been half demoed. And it's also the first part of the building at the Berman Academy. Like, they redid this section and turned it into an elementary school because it wasn't usable like the rest of the stuff. Like, if you'd gone back in your classroom when they first took the building over, it would have looked just the same.
We went on a little motorcycle trip together.
Oh.
Get out. Honda Rebel, cherry red. That's what I had.
There you go. So that's the 250? The small one.
The small one, yes. Yes.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey,
You got us beat. You got us beat.
when I was 27, going up these stairs 2 at a time, I thought to myself, I wonder if I'll be able to do this when I'm 30. How about
And
80s?
now we know your answer.
Well done.
All right,
That
Annette.
has been on my mind to do when we got here.
So you still got it?
I still got it.
But not the motorcycle.
Not the motorcycle.
All right.
I'm gonna go one at a time.
She's doing it.
I don't know that.
Oh, okay. I can do these 2 at a time. So I don't think I'm doing it first.
It's like in the middle, I think.
No.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they were down there. They've got art rooms down there.
So Annette, could this possibly be from 44 years ago, your classroom here at Peary High School?
There are certain accoutrements that, that make me think it might have been. I
But the
don't.
desk was up front, that, on that wall, right?
Yes, it was up here.
No, the desk was here. The desk was here. Yeah, because the windows were on the left.
John Rynette after kindergarten.
Okay, yeah.
Is that 84? Oh, when we were using it, he would turn it on.
Yeah, because
We were all light with the flint.
Yeah.
And then we had like 4 flints in the sheriff, so he would light his, and then keep the handle of the flint.
Fire
What the
away.
man made.
All right, fire
What the
away.
man made.
I always
Hold
sat
on,
in the
you gotta
back.
hit the, oh, look, you've set it up. Do you know
So-
how to use that?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
4 times 10 to the 30.
Oh, there's no way you still remember, huh?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Had 3 good years here, all fun, you know?
Okay, get your papers out. It's quiz time.
Quiz time. Oh no, quiz
I
time.
was told it would be.
Quiz time.
See if I'm gonna get it. Since you've last seen me, I have acquired 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd wrinkles. Whose number is that? Avogadro. Yes. I remember one time we were doing a lab and we were using alcohol. And I was kind of walking around, I heard this big commotion one of my students, who was a little pyro, had spread some alcohol on the lab table and threw a lit match in it. So there was fire on the lab table. I called his mother, and she said she wasn't at all surprised because the year before he had stuck his hand into a Coca-Cola machine and gotten partially electrocuted or something. Fortunately, I didn't have too many students like that.
Well, do you have, this is, you don't have to answer this, but do you have a favorite era of like, you know, while you were here, like early 70s, late 70s,
I
and
loved
80s?
all 16 years.
Yeah.
I really did.
Uh-huh.
I was really sad when it closed.
Who'd you
But
hang
then
out
I
with
had
on the
one
staff?
year- I had 1 year at Springbrook and then 8 years at Blair. And the fortunate thing at Blair was they brought the magnet school in.
So
I
that was a
became
new Blair.
AP Chem teacher, and I had 3 double period AP classes a day. And I got into a thing called cross-age teaching of science, where high school students would go to neighboring elementary and middle schools and give a little chemistry lesson. So I would have a box with all the things they needed and send them out. And I'd been doing this for a few months, and we had some kind of parent night at Peary. And I talked to I didn't talk to the principal that night, but a couple of people did, and I told them how wonderful the program was. I had not gotten permission, so I had students driving back and forth to give these little lessons, but it was so successful and so well received that, you know, nothing happened to me. I didn't get my head cut off. You know, it's easier to ask permission than, I mean, ask forgiveness than.
Seek permission, yes.
You were in the same classroom all 16 years?
Yes, I was, yeah.
And where did you do your undergrad school?
Lemoyne College in Syracuse, and then I got my master's at the University of Maryland, but that was in English. Because 1 year I taught for 2 years in California, and one of those years they were trying flexible scheduling. So it was more like college with big gaps of time, supposedly to study. And fights were breaking out, so they went back to traditional scheduling, and they didn't need me as a chemistry teacher. I became an English teacher. But I really liked the literature part, so that's why I got my master's. And even though it wasn't in my field, I did go up on the salary scale.
Yeah. It all worked out. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you would do chemistry again if you had to? I mean, starting over, you enjoyed it?
I loved it. I loved it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That segues nicely into what you shared earlier, which is your affinity or love for the students. Any student, maybe chat about that. Is that something unique to then that maybe we don't see as much today?
When I graduated with a BS in chemistry, I wasn't thinking of teaching. I was thinking of research. Somehow or another, I got into the teaching, and I was so grateful because I'm more a people person than working in a lab doing research. And I really had a lot of fun with the students. Like, I remember Christmas time, we weren't allowed to have parties. This was at Blair. So I had a food lab. And we did scrambled eggs and pancakes and bacon. And all the classes down the hall were dying from the smells. It was fun. And then I did things like I made up chemo, like bingo, except it was chemo. And then last few years, I would bring in lucky chocolate chip cookies for tests. And you were allowed to come up and get one cookie while you were taking the test, keep the break.
Sure.
I didn't care if you memorized anything. You had to think about, much better for the brain. And while I'm here, dancing is very good for the brain. If you don't dance, you should try it. There was an article a couple of months ago about it being the best way to prevent dementia. Dance. Okay? Is the music going to start soon?
Let's get down to music class as soon as we can, guys.
I line dance at the Anacortes Senior Center every Friday morning for an hour and a half. It's fun. And I'm also taking private dance lessons, and there's going to be a recital on April 18th. And the reason I'm doing it is because 40 years ago, when I saw the movie Dirty Dancing, that last lift at the end, I thought, I want to do that. And I am.
Wow.
I am. I can show you a picture of me up in the air. Yeah. Cheesecake recipe.
Oh, is that right?
I love it, yes.
Yeah, that's where I grew up until the age of 12. When I moved out of Vernon.
So what kind of dance do you do?
Almost anything. You know, samba, rumba, waltz, tango.
Miss Archibald, you simplified it to East Coast swing, and then you have more the Savoy style and West. So they broke off into like West Coast swing. Then you got the St. Louis.
Didn't get a stipend.
There was no stipend?
No.
Really?
No.
So it's just for the love
But
of
I
the-
have one interesting story about its academic. One year, one of the questions my team got was, what acid is used for pickling metals? And I'm not sure if they said hydrochloric or sulfuric. Whichever one they said, they were told they were wrong. So we lost the round. And I went home and I thought, something's wrong. So I looked it up and they used several different acids for pickling, not just that one. Before I looked it up, I had a bicycle. I went for a bicycle ride in the rain. I was just upset, you know, so let the rain wash over me. So I called the station and I told them. So we had a redo and we won.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. So on the show, it shows them winning. And then there's a little announcement, you know, there was a mistake, blah, blah, blah. Robert Peary. We won.
So the question I was going to ask you is, one of the things I think that any Peary High School alumnus feels is there's something special about Robert E. Peary High School during the time we were here, as opposed to Wheaton or Richard Montgomery or, you know, so.
They were all far inferior.
Well, okay, exactly. But is there, you know, what other attributes or traits of Robert E. Peary, in your view now, stand apart perhaps?
Well, I mean, think of the anchor and the bell tower and the husky. I mean, there's a whole rich history that goes with Robert E. Peary. I don't know if any of the other schools have that. Yeah, well,
It opened up as Aspen Hill High School, and the original kids named it Peary because it was on our academy.
Arctic Avenue, yes.
And all the things that go together, like you were just talking about, you say this all the time. It's so cool because there's no connection between like being from Wheaton and being a knight, you know.
And Walt Whitman wrote some nice poetry.
Yeah, but they were, he did, but they're the
Yeah.
what? They're the Vikings, are they?
And of course, the Midnight Sun newspaper, you know, so Polaris yearbook.
I have a story about the flagpole that was, you know, mast up on the football field. So when the school closed, it was kind of a dirty little secret, if you will. It's a artifact of sorts, a historical artifact. I'm not sure if it was on the ship that made it to the pole, but it was one of a ship that Peary was sailed on, or whatever the term is. But the county brought out some maintenance workers to take it to the Smith Center up on Moncaster Mill Road. It's like a day camp or something for the county. And it was too long to fit on a flatbed truck. So like you alluded to earlier, they sought no permission and they cut it in half. And, you know, loaded 2 pieces onto the truck and took it away. There's a line to this day, like a soldering line, and it was kind of controversial that they cut this historic artifact, you know, without seeking permission to move it.
Can we sue for emotional damage?
Round of applause for Annette Tamm.
But nowadays, if they were.
Yes, I can teach you a line dance.
Uh-oh,
I got a bad
an encore, an encore. Great.
Don't tempt me.
Well, thank you, Annette, for calling upon us, and it's unforgettable. I'll speak for myself. This will be unforgettable, and as you were, I think I was sharing with Annette that it stands apart, and it's got very little to do with chemistry, but I just remember walking in this classroom, and here's this teacher who has a turntable with vinyl and albums there, and I'm like, what's this album? It's like this guy's on a bicycle. It says Willie and the Poor Boys. Like, what's with that? So thank you for introducing me to Creedence Clearwater Revival. Yes, thank you very much.
This has been delightful.